Hey guys, we are back for another day of Read Along with Alane, and this week we are reading outside so we can get some fresh air, and I hope you guys are getting some fresh air as well. Now, we left off with chapter 16, and they just announced a big competition for the girls, all the firstling witchlings, to go out into the swamps and try to capture a powerful creature. So let's see what happens with chapter 17, all right? The 19 firstlings had assembled in the gardens where Abigail usually met Hugo. Madame Barbossa was giving some of the girls final instructions before sending them into the swamps to find their creatures. Abigail was working up the courage to tell Madame Barbossa about the Viking when Indira stepped in front of her. "I'm going to win, you know." "Says who?" Abigail answered. "Says me. You're too busy hanging around with that Balfin boy to be a proper witch. It's as if he's your best friend. Of course, he is your only friend." The girls gathered around as they sensed a fight. "He's not my friend at all," Abigail said hotly. "He's just an annoying boy who has no magic of his own and wants to steal mine." "You're still going to lose," Indira said. "Well, I intend to win," Abigail announced. She had it all planned out. There were shrieks everywhere in the swamp. The winged rodents nested in every tree. She would find not one, but 2 shrieks to bespell and train them to carry her book bag for her. Indira's eyes shone with spite. "Then let's place a wager on it." "Have her be your servant for a month," Glorian suggested. "Yeah, she can press her uniform and polish your boots," Nellie agreed. But Indira waved them away. "If I win, you have to hand over that emerald necklace you never take off." She eyed the long silver chain around Abigail's neck. Abigail clutched the emerald, tucking it into her dress for safekeeping. "No." "No?" Indira arched one eyebrow. "Because you don't believe you can win?" "No, it's just—" "Face it, Abigail, you're going to lose, and you know it. Loser, loser," she taunted. Abigail gave her a shove. "Am not." Indira's face turned red, but she didn't push Abigail back. "Then take the bet." "And what do I get if I win?" Abigail asked, all thoughts of warning Madame Barbossa having flown out of her head. Indira gave a snarky little laugh. "You won't win, but for betting's sake, I'll—" She put a finger on her chin as she thought about it. "I know. I'll let you eat lunch with us for a month. Better than sitting by yourself every day." Abigail burned with embarrassment. She was about to tell Indira to shove it when Calla pushed her aside. "If she wins, she gets your spellbook," Calla said. "The one your mother gave you." Abigail gasped along with the other girls. The spellbook was priceless. Indira wouldn't dare risk giving it up. Indira looked pale, but she snapped back, "Mind your own business, Glitchwitch. You shouldn't even be here." Calla elbowed Abigail in the side, and something switched on in her. "What's the matter? Afraid you're going to lose?" Abigail mocked. "Loser, loser." There was dead silence. The witchlings all waited for Indira to find a way to make her take it back, but for once the girl was stuck. Indira's eyes narrowed into slivers of hate. "Fine, but you will never win, Abigail." Madame Barbossa swept into the group, clapping her hands. "Come, my little witchlings, gather around." Her cat eyes tilted upward, shimmering with excitement. "What a thrilling day to enter the swamps," she purred. "I cannot wait to see what you bring back, though I would stay away from those nasty Sneevils. They never listen." She shook her head at some memory. "But win or lose, you must present your creature here day after tomorrow or receive a failing grade in my class." She snapped her fingers and the gate sprung open. "Remember, if you run into any trouble, send up a blast of witchfire and one of your instructors will assist you. Good luck to you all." One by one they filed out and disappeared into the swamps. Abigail veered away from the other girls, determined to find her shrieks quickly so she could start training them. She was searching the branches for the telltale glowing eyes when a girl stepped out of the trees. "Calla," Abigail said in surprise, "what are you doing here?" "You have to win, Abigail." Calla gripped Abigail's arm tight enough to hurt. I intend to. I'm searching for a pair of nice big shrieks. A pair of shrieks won't do. Indira's been taming a Shankara wolf for weeks now. Disappointment flooded Abigail. No wonder the girl was so confident she was going to win. It's my problem, not yours, Abigail said, wrenching her arm free. So just leave me to failing. She plunged deeper into the swamps until the treetops were a dark canopy overhead. Trails of steam rose up from the marshy ground, and her boots squished in the mud. When she was sure she was alone, Abigail leaned against the trunk of a blackened tree. Her hand went to the sea emerald. She lifted it from around her neck to study it. She couldn't bear to lose it. It would mean the end of her time at the Tarkana Academy. The back of her neck prickled, as if there were eyes on her. Someone or something was watching her. "Calla, is that you?" she called, looking around. The swamps had gone quiet. The shrieks that hung in the trees weren't squealing. Even the noisy insects had stopped their buzzing. A deep chuffing sound reached her, as if something Even the noisy insects had stopped their buzzing. A deep chuffing sound reached her, as if something large was breathing in and out. Something very close. Right behind her, in fact. Abigail slowly turned. Her heart beat wildly as she made out the outline of a hulking shadow lurking in the bushes. She took a careful step backward. If she was quiet, she might be able to get away. She took another step and felt a stick bend under her boot. She tried to stop herself but couldn't freeze in time. The stick cracked loudly as it snapped in half. With a snarling roar, the Viking pounced in front of her. "Meliodas Stella Calira," Abigail shouted, hoping to charm it into submission. It just roared louder. Fetid breath washed over her as it stalked closer. A line of drool hung from its jaw. She sent a blast of witch fire at the Viking. The first one hit it square in the chest, and the beast yelped, jumping backward. She fired again and again as it circled her, trying to find a way in. Her arm quickly grew tired. Magic like this was draining. The Viking stayed just out of range, toying with her as her witchfire began to sputter. A dark shadow blocked out the sun as a high-pitched screech filled the air. Abigail looked up in shock. Winging down on them was a frightening creature, its smooth scales black as pitch. The spike at the end of its long tail could impale her with a single strike. Gleaming teeth protruded from its beak. Her breath caught as she recognized it from Madame Barbossa's picture. An Omera. How could things have gotten worse? She closed her eyes as it opened its jaws, sure it was about to rip her head off. Sharp talons bit into her shoulders and swept her into the air. It lifted her above the murky swamp and out of the reach of the Viking's snapping jaws. What just happened? Can you believe that? Chapter 17 was so good. So Abigail is really, okay, they're going to do this competition, and then Indira tries to say, "I'm going to win, and when I do, I want your necklace." And then Calla gets in the middle of it and says, "Well, what is she going to get you? She should get your spell book," which is really risky because Indira can't afford to lose her mother's spell book. And then Calla meets her in the swamps and says, "You really got to get a good creature because Indira has been training a Shankara wolf, so that means that she'll probably win." And then Abigail runs off by herself, and she runs into a Viking, which is about to pounce on her, when all of a sudden things get even worse because an Omera comes out of nowhere and shoom, swoops down and sweeps her away. So really big cliffhanger there. We don't know what's happened to Abigail and what the Omera is going to do with her. So guys, that's it for chapter 17. A good chapter. Come back tomorrow, all right, and we'll read chapter 18. Until then, you guys know what to do. Click the link in the description, do some of the worksheets. You can send them to me. I'd love to see them. And otherwise, get outside, stay healthy, stay happy. Have a great day, guys. Alane out.